Welcome, Cheyenne Mustang fans, back to the West Fargo Sports Arenas. We're excited to bring you another production of Cheyenne Mustang Media and an EDC hockey game as the Firebirds from Devil's Lake have made the trek down to the West Fargo Sports Arena to take on the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. We got a little bit of a different schedule here, a different start time. This is a rescheduled game. They were supposed to play on Tuesday, so instead of the usual 7:30 start, we're moving the game up to 5:30. And also with that, we don't have our usual play-by-play man, Mr. Burke, but Mr. Knodel has decided that he wanted to increase the size of his resume just a little bit, and we're happy to be joined by you tonight, Mr. Knodel.
Hey, thanks for having me. Always looking for a new job. I've got to build that resume.
That's absolutely right. I think we'll take just a little short break here for the national anthem, then we'll come back with game action.
There's never been a better time to make even more at Marvin and Fargo. Careers building award-winning windows and doors at Marvin now start at $20 an hour, and new Marvin team members are immediately eligible for benefits on their very first day. Opportunities are available for full-time, part-time, evening, and weekend positions. Visit marvin.com/join us to apply. Don't forget, when you join the Marvin team, benefits start on day one, and open positions pay $20 an hour or more. Apply now at marvin.com/join us.
Pieces I hold in my hands don't have a chance to mend at all. Before they get thrown into chaos again, I try to pretend I'm holding up. To stand in this house while I'm steady, to witness the heartache of many, many, many. But how long until we all see what we're fighting for? Is there in our reach if we open our hearts for more? Love is the cure. Love is the cure. Love is the cure. Love is the cure.
All right, so welcome back, and it's been quite a while since we've done a game here on Cheyenne Mustang Media. The last one that we did, boy, what was that? I think that was a Fargo Davies home game, and that was in the middle of December, and it's been a while. We had two cancellations. Last week there was a Tuesday game against Devil's Lake. This is the makeup for that, and then there was a Friday afternoon or Friday evening, game against Grafton that was canceled. So for Cheyenne, Mr. Knodel, what do you got to do coming off? I believe it was about 11-day break.
Well, I think, a couple of things that you have to think to right away. First of all, like you said, certainly coaches and players are trying to figure this out. They learned a lot last year from COVID and just kind of the unusual ways in which schedules play out. But, boy, these last few weeks have been difficult in terms of practice, cancellations, games, those kinds of things. Things are going to get log-jammed here after Christmas break. And I think for Coach Benson, probably the big question that he's going to have to ask, I think most coaches of winter seasons kind of look at their season in two frames. What happens before that holiday break and what happens after that holiday break? And, before holiday break, you start looking at, okay, what lines do I have? What combinations of players are working? What's not working? And usually you start changing your lineup a little bit, and you play around with some things after the break. So we'll see if Coach Benson has some new strategies he'd like to employ. And you kind of really have to see, where's the leadership coming from? Where are the points coming from? Where's the best defense? And I think, we might see a little bit of different kind of lineups than we've seen in the past, and we'll see if there's some changes that Benson thinks that he needs to make after the season part two starts.
Well, one line that we can be sure that we're going to see is going to be Carson Techber is going to be centering Zach Mosier and Cooper Klaus, and we see him out there to start the game. We got Mosier right there, number 10, is going to carry the puck into the zone, tries to slide it over to Cooper Klaus, ends up behind the Firebird net. Devil's Lake with the puck. Nice hit laid there by Mosier. Keeps the puck below the goal line, and Devil's Lake's having a little bit of a hard time getting out of their zone. Cheyenne Mustang forwards are doing a good job on the forecheck.
And that's something, obviously, you and I talked a little bit before the game. If the Mustangs can do what they should be able to do, I think, against Devil's Lake, they should be able to keep the puck in the zone.
Yeah, I think if they can work those defensemen on cycles and keep that puck down low, they should find some offensive opportunities for themselves. As we see this line here again is is creating some good chances. He got it behind the net there. There's Cooper Klaus is battling for it, and that puck's going to be turned over, and Zach Mosher just right back down again. So this line here is being real effective real early this first shift of the game. And even the defense too. Mason Christensen has held the line, and Colin McCarthy's done a good job. So if you're Coach Benson, this is about as good as a start as you could want.
Mustangs able to slap that one back into the corner again. And finally, Devils Lake looks like they want to get it out, and Mustangs back with the puck.
Colin McCarthy showed off the vertical there and does a nice job of holding that in. And I think if you're Devils Lake goaltender Zach White, you're okay with just holding that puck in the zone. Zach White has certainly been a busy man this season. Has about 55 shots he's averaging faced on game, and over the 3 years of his high school career, he's averaged about 51 shots per game. So, he's a key for the Devils Lake Firebirds. He's going to have to play extremely well for them to find some success here on the win-loss column this season.
See if the Mustangs can win the first face-off here in their offensive zone. That'll probably be a little bit telling to see if we can get some shots on goal. Certainly, you want the puck in your zone, but it doesn't do much for you if you don't get in a lot of good attempts. That's right, and
Belial got kicked out of that face-off there, and he's been very good from that dot, pulling it on his backhand all season long. There you got, looks like Jaden Rogan's going to hold the puck down and throws it down behind the net to Jack Belial out front to Trey Stocker. Hey! Right there. Just about over a minute 30 into the game. That's Trey Stocker. That's going to be his second goal. I know he got the monkey off his back over the holiday break. He got a goal against Dickinson, and that was a real nice play. Jaden Rogan just threw that puck down, and Jack Belial picked it up right behind the net, and goal scorers got to go to the front of the net, and Trey Stocker certainly, hopefully now after getting that first one out of the way, he's able to get a little bit more confidence, and if you're Coach Benson and the Mustangs, that's absolutely the start that you wanted. You had a great shift by that first unit. Now this second unit, following it up, doing the same thing. So, a fantastic start for the Sheyenne Mustangs.
So second shot on goal does end up in the back of the net there. It's like we said, Lutovsky, it's not just about getting shots on goal, getting quality shots on goal, and that centering pass right there just, yeah. Right on point.
Yeah, those are tough. If you're goaltender White for Devils Lake, those are tough, and it looks like we almost had the same thing there. So hit there laid by Rogan on the boards. That's going to keep the puck in. One thing the Cheyenne forwards have done well this game on the forecheck is taking the body. Either on one or two things. You either got to have the puck or the body, and they've been good on both.
Devils Lake finally making a move here.
Yeah, it's really their first. It was kind of a sneaky shot there. That was a shot on net. That was by Hunter Riggin. Caught goaltender Peyton Buchholz. Caught him kind of up high right around that gaiter that goalies are mandated to wear around their neck. So I think if you're Devils Lake, you're fine with that. Try to get an offensive zone face-off. You haven't had much luck here early on in the game, but see if you can generate some opportunities out of that. So face-off won by the Mustangs. Colin McCarthy throws it over to Mason Christensen. He's going to look up, tries to go to Zach Mosier. I think the puck just hopped right over Mosier's stick there, but a nice little play there by Colin McCarthy, just going right over to Mason Christensen. And Christensen, if he can put that right on the tape of Mosier, the way that this unit has played so far for the Mustangs, if you can get, 1-2 good passes out of the zone and end up the ice and create some offense, that's, certainly what they're going to have to do.
One thing, Lutovsky, no coaches ever want to use this phrase must win, but just looking at how the EDC is playing out right now, obviously the Mustangs 5-5 on the season, but 1-5 in the EDC. This is a game that if you want to move up into that upper echelon of teams in that position where you feel like you like your seed for the EDC tournament, this is probably one of those situations where you feel like I have to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely, and creating some good momentum too. They had the two games that they over the Christmas break where they defeated Mandan 3-0, and then they defeated Dickinson 6-2, and hopefully rolling into some good momentum. I think they were kind of hoping that would have happened last week with having Devils Lake and Grafton come in, because we'll talk later, but tomorrow's a difficult game as we see a nice move by Mosier there, just dipped the shoulder, got right around the defenseman. So Mosier holds up near the blue line. And Devils Lake looks like they're going to come away with it, but Mason Christensen makes a great play right on the line, and Mosier, oh, what a beautiful deke by Cooper Klaus there. It doesn't go, but it was a fantastic pass by Mosier all the way across the zone, and we talked a little bit about those guys. Cooper Klaus this year leads the Mustangs. He's got 14 goals and 5 assists for 19, and then just flip it for Mosier. He's got 5 goals and 14 assists for 19 points, and then Teckenberg, 4 and 12 for 16, and that's 54 points right there, and for the year the Mustangs have 84, so those three right there are about 2 out of every 3 Cheyenne Mustang points is going to those guys. So they're going to have to continue their play for the Mustangs to find some success.
And that was probably one of those things, thinking about how this season was going to start. You and I talked about this preseason, and certainly that's conversation kind of moving forward. But where are the points coming from? And it is those three guys that are carrying most of the heavy load. As we get a good look there on the inside, good couple of saves by Buckholz there at point-blank range.
It was a nice play by Dayton Lunick for Devils Lake. Just came out and bowled his way to the net and created some good opportunities for Devils Lake. So puck dumped in here. Charlie Leshevsky is going to go behind the net. He's going to be joined there by, looks like, Kalen Mattern and Chase Hapka. And Mattern comes away with the puck, but Devils Lake defenseman makes a nice play and forces a turnover.
Puck stolen there and then fired back into the zone.
Yeah, if you're Devils Lake there, you're not far from the red line. And you don't want to ice it, but maybe you can just chip it off the wall there and instead tries to put the brakes on, and the puck is going to end up in their zone. And, we're close to about 5 minutes into this period, and they've had one nice flurry there, but obviously you want to create as much offensive zone time as you can. So Mason Christensen throws a shot there in front. Looks like it hits a couple bodies, but Christensen, as he's been doing all game, holds that blue line, throws it right on net, and Zach White for Devils Lake is going to be content with just holding on to that. So, we're into this game here. We see the shots on goal are 5-4, but, the Cheyenne Mustangs have really controlled the offensive momentum. Their forwards have done a real nice job keeping pucks low, below the tops of the circles, and playing from kind of behind the goal line. They've had some nice opportunities out front.
You do have to appreciate on the back end having a senior goalie as well. Obviously, Buckholz has been playing for us for a couple of years. A couple of maybe missteps there, but the Mustangs on that one offensive sequence for the Firebirds, and Buckholz able to kind of reject a couple of those shots that probably could again maybe a little bit of a momentum swing for Devils Lake, because obviously, as we've said, the puck is in our offensive zone for the vast majority of it so far.
Yeah, certainly. And as Mason Christensen goes back to retrieve the puck here in the Cheyenne zone, flips it up to McCarthy and makes a nice play up to Rogan, who got it over to Jack Belisle, and tried to go over to Trey Stocker, but that's not going to connect, and Belisle tries to throw it in, and that's going to be intercepted by Devils Lake. But getting back to you talking about having a senior goalie and Peyton Buckholz, it also it gives everybody else in front of him more confidence, where they know that they have a goalie back there who's going to make the routine saves, but also can make more difficult saves. As we see Mosier here coming in and throw it in front and just missed wide of the net there. So that puck caroms up, and Nate Pearl, Cheyenne defenseman number 14, tries to hold it in. Eventually that puck's going to squirt out, and we're going to see Devils Lake is going to carry this puck in. They're not quite yet over the line, but they do. But unfortunately for them, that's going to go for an offside. So you talked about looking at the standings here. Cheyenne comes in. They did have the 2 cancellations last week, so they come in with 3 points, overall record of 5-5, and then obviously they got a big one with Red River tomorrow. So you want to create some good momentum going into that one.
Obviously, Red River coming off a huge win the other night against Davies. I believe both teams were undefeated, 1-1, both sitting in the top seed there. I'm not sure who was ahead in points, but everybody was kind of wondering whoever was coming out of that game was probably going to be sitting pretty for the rest of the season in terms of seeding, and Red River was able to come away with a big victory, 5-1, I believe, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, yeah. And you know what, every team, like you talked about, it's after the holiday break now, and you're all gearing up for what's going to happen in February, and you want to put yourself in the best possible position as you can. As Devils Lake tries to break it out of the zone, Colin McCarthy does a nice job holding that puck on the blue line, and we see Firebirds are going to take it out here. That's going to be number 3.
And they do get the pass up ahead, but
Zach Jordy trying to fight Austin Thompson right in front of the net there. Mosier makes a nice play at the blue line, but unfortunately the puck is poked back into the Cheyenne zone and dumped back in now into Devils Lake territory. So Pearl's going to go back behind the Cheyenne net to retrieve it. Puck's kind of stuck along the boards there a little bit, and the Zach Jordy for Devils Lake is going to make a nice play, and unfortunately Devils Lake is unable to come up with a puck. So that's one of the things we've seen. When Cheyenne has been able to pick those loose pucks off, they've been able to create second chances out of it. Unfortunately for Devils Lake, they haven't had the same luxury or same amount of success.
The puck has largely stayed in the offensive zone for the Mustangs here, but there's first three minutes or so, it was really kind of deep in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Firebirds doing a little bit better job of chipping it out, and had even a couple of numbers opportunities here, but only that one real legitimate scoring opportunity thus far.
Yep. So puck dumped in. We got Jack Pitts, Joseph Personette, and Dylan Schauer. The first time that we've seen these three out here as an offensive unit. And Devils Lake has going to try to go all the way across the zone, and they do, but that's going to be dumped right back in by Jack Pitts. And so the Mustangs are going to look to get back on the forecheck here. Devils Lake is going to come around the side of the cage and try to throw it all the way up for a stretch pass, and that's going to be all the way on net of goaltender Buckholz. So we got a line change here for Devils Lake that allows Christensen to carry it up, goes into Shower, and Shower's just going to chip it in and elect to get some fresh legs out there.
8:46 to go here in the first period. Mustangs up 1-0. Lone goal here by Trey Stocker to start. And since then, the Mustangs have had limited opportunities to really kind of push the Firebirds goalie. We'll see if they can find a couple more quality shots here before the end of the first.
That one just eluded the stick there of Rogan. So Rogan comes back with the puck. He's going to curl back in the below the goal line there, is bumped off the puck by a Devils Lake defender. And Devils Lake kind of having a little bit of a tough time here, just trying to get a clean breakout. There's just a lot of trying to throw it off the boards and hope that they can skate into it. So that's going to be Ben Klaus behind the net. He's going to take a big hit there from Devils Lake. That's going to be Levi Larman, who delivered a hit on Ben Klaus, and it looks like he's going to go for a rough.
Hey Mustang fans, Mustang Media wants to take a few seconds to remind you that Essentia Health is the premier sponsor of Mustang Media. Essentia Health, like nowhere else.
Looks like actually there's a little confusion there. I think Jaden Rogan thought he was going to the bench for the rough, and I was kind of curious myself. I was scratching my head. If you're if you're Rogan, never go to the penalty box unless they absolutely tell you. But it was the hit on Ben Klaus by Levi Larman that he's going to go sit for two. So for the Mustangs, this is going to be their first crack on the power play here, and hopefully, they can create some good momentum here and hopefully pop in that second goal.
We did talk about dividing the season into halves here, before the holiday break and after the holiday break, and one of the things I think probably Coach Benson will tell you is they probably have to be a little bit better on the power play, giving themselves better opportunities when they have numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where, when you don't have a game in 11 days, or, I believe it was 11 days, this is where sometimes, you want to make sure your special teams are dialed in. So I know that was probably an emphasis that they spent a lot of time on practice on making sure that they're, strong on the power play and the penalty kill. So we're going to have Mosier up top. He's going to be up there with Jaden Rogan. Mosier's going to slide it over to Teckenberg. He exchanges with Cooper Klaus. Back up to Mosier. Mosier over to Klaus. Klaus shot is going to be blocked by Devils Lake defender. That's a nice play by Devils Lake there. Yeah, Carson Teckenberg, he's on the wall, slides it up top to Zach Mosier in front of the net. You got there, looks like Kalen Mattern's going to be battling, trying to create a little bit of havoc in front of goaltender Zach White for Devils Lake. Mosier back over to Klaus, who went back down to Carson Teckenberg, mishandled the puck back up to Mosier, takes a shot, and the Devils Lake defenseman there that was right in front on Kalen Mattern did a real nice job of right when Zach Mosier was going to take that shot, he pushed Kalen Mattern out of the way, and goaltender Zach White was able to see that all the way. So we got about 1:21 here left on the power play. They created some good catching and passing of the puck there, but unfortunately, no great opportunities.
And that's one thing you and I have talked about in the past. Can the Mustangs pass it cleanly enough to give themselves the opportunities that they want when they do have numbers? And right now, they're moving the puck pretty well, seeing if they can give themselves a shot as we see one go wide there.
It kind of took a funny bounce back, too. It must have hit something right on the boards of the glass and took a funny bounce back. So the Mustangs are going to regain the puck here. Jaden Rogan. And slide it up over top to the Zach Mosier. He's going to be right in that quarterbacking spot on the power play. Gives it over to Teckenberg, to Klaus, back to Mosier, back to Klaus. Klaus is going to fire, and again there, that's going to be a nice deflection of a shot there. That's going to pop up into the netting. So, we saw the same play a lot where you would have, slide it over to Teckenberg on the wall, go back to Mosier, and they're looking for Klaus to get that shot coming in, which is great if he can, get a clean lane there. But Devils Lake did a real nice job of disrupting that shooting lane and taking that away.
It did seem that Devils Lake wasn't really buying some of the motion that the Mustangs were doing. They seemed to kind of be ready for what the Mustangs were trying to pull off there. Didn't really get them out of position.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll see if they try something else.
And they stayed disciplined there and stayed in their lanes. So now we got McCarthy's going to slide it over to Nate Pearl. Pearl goes in front, and Trey Stocker tried to tip it, but unfortunately the puck goes wide. Belial picks it up behind the net. Circles around over the top, goes over to Stocker. Unfortunately for Stocker, unable to handle that pass cleanly. You got Chase Hopker in front of the net. Looking for a pass there. Belial was going for the wrapper on there. So Colin McCarthy winds it up. And again, unfortunately, those shots in the power play, you got to hit the net.
So we're sitting at about 8 seconds left on the power play. Really haven't had a lot of great shots on net right now. Most of them sailed a little bit off to the side here. We'll see if we can fire one in here before they get full.
So Stalker behind the net as the Firebirds return back to full strength here. You got Stalker and looks like Hapka and Belial out there, and that's going to be Hapka's going to pick the puck up there, throws it back down to Stalker. Hapka's going to go in as you got 2 Firebirds and 2 Mustangs. Now Nate Pearl's going to enter into the fray, and the puck's going to go back behind the net with Chase Hapka giving a forecheck. You got a Devils Lake defender making a nice rush up the ice here. Colin McCarthy fell down, and that defender comes in and puts it just wide, and that's going to be Dayton Lunick, and he's one of the guys that for Devils Lake this year. You know, they've had a little bit of a tougher time putting the puck in the net. Dayton Lunick, he's just sophomore forward. He doesn't have any goals, but he does have 5 assists on the year. So, their leading goal scorer is Caleb Schwab. He's got 6 goals on the year, and then Cameron Schwab has 5, and then you got a handful that have 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. So as a team, they're not going to be a team that's offensively going to light the scoreboard up, but even on that power play, it looks like they're structured defensively and trying to create as much difficult time as they can for their opponents. So off the face-off, Mosier's going to look to slide it over to Cooper Klaus, but that's going to be intercepted by Parker Swanson, sent back in. Mason Christensen goes behind the net, goes off the wall right there to Colin McCarthy. McCarthy's going to put that puck up to Cooper Klaus. Slides up along the wall there. McCarthy's going to pick that puck up off the red line and look to carry it into the zone. Looks like we're going to have a trip there as Colin McCarthy was trying to go behind the net. I believe that was Caden Branvold that looked to just trip McCarthy up, and then also it looks like, I don't know if we're going to have another one on that, but Cooper Klaus is going to pick the puck up, tries to go high, and that's one of the things he missed, that shot high, and it whistles all the way around, but Mustangs are going to regain. That's going to be Carson Techenberg. He tries to go up high as well. So we see, I don't know if that's one of the things the Mustangs are seeing there, as you had Klaus and Techenberg on back-to-back shots. Tried to go short side high there. But the Mustangs are going to go back to the power play. That was a good rush by Colin McCarthy. They're using his angles and using his speed to get to the outside, and then forces the Devils Lake defender to take the penalty.
So right now, shots on goal, 8 in favor of the Mustangs and 6 for Devils Lake. Now the Mustangs will put themselves on another 2-minute power play.
Yeah, unsuccessful on the first one. Let's see if they can create a little bit more movement and create, get some more bodies in front of the net, take the eyes away from the Devils Lake goaltender. So up top here, we're going to have Rogan and Mosier again. Looks like Caleb Mattern's going to be off on one side, and then you got Carson Techenberg and Cooper Klaus over on the other. So Mosier slides it over to Techenberg. Techenberg over back to Klaus. Klaus goes up to Mosier. Tried to get a little pass there down to Carson Techenberg. Klaus goes down to Techenberg, back up to Mosier, and again, that's going to be another block shot by Devils Lake, so they're doing a real nice job of sacrificing their body on the penalty kill. Rogan takes slap shot, winds up, just goes wide. Puck back down to Mosier now on the goal line. Real nice pass. That was a beautiful pass by Zach Mosier, and he kind of looked over and made sure that Carson Techenberg knew he was going to be ready for that pass, and Techenberg just made no doubt about it, just one time to right in the back of the net. So it's one of the things you talk about. One of the things that the Mustangs want to improve on, Aaron, was the special teams play, and they're 50% in the period now. So after that first one, we felt like maybe they're a little frustrated. That was a beautiful play there by Zach Mosier, sliding that puck over all the way across the zone, and that's going to be Carson Techberg's 5th goal. And we talked about that line. They have produced offensively, and they're going to continue to have to do so. So it's a good omen if you're a Mustang fan, coach, or a player to see that happen.
And we talked a little bit about Chris passing and good spacing, and on that power play goal, we had both.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see the Mustangs go back to the power play here. As Chase Hapka was carrying the puck into the ice, and that's going to be for Devils Lake. That's going to be Caleb Schwab. He's going to go for a rough, and so that's not the recipe for success. If you're Devils Lake, looks like Coach Tate Aronson here in his first year of the bench boss of the Devils Lake Firebirds wants a little bit of an explanation. Coming out of the zone, or Hapka was coming out of the zone, and they obviously thought it was a clean hit. The ref and the officials thought otherwise. So we're going to have the Mustangs are going to go straight back, right where they were on the power play. They're going to go straight back to it for another 2 minutes. So shots 9-6 here. We got 3:40 left in the first period. So Belial will take the draw. Devils Lake wins it. Puck comes off the wall there, and Devils Lake is able to chip that puck out. And here you got number 2 for Devils Lake. That's going to be Austin Thompson on Nate Pearl. Pearl does a nice job deflecting that puck into the corner, and McCarthy's going to come away with it. So McCarthy is going to elect to skate the puck out of the Sheyenne Mustang zone. He crosses the checkered line, gets into the offensive zone, and looking to hope to set something up for Sheyenne Mustangs. So McCarthy back up to it's Trey Stocker. He leaves it for McCarthy. That's over to Nate Pearl. Pearl waits, looks, back up to McCarthy. Throws it back down to Jack Blisle. You got Trey Stocker right in front of the net there. They're looking for a pass, deflection, or a tip. One of any of those in front, unfortunately, goes out. Chase Hapka does a nice job on retrieving it. Again, another block shot there. That's Austin Thompson. Again, I believe he's had a couple of them. So on that shot there by McCarthy, puck deflected into the corner. McCarthy back with it. Slides it over to Stocker. Stocker leaves it for Blisle, and Blisle goes back down to Stocker. Nice play, nice feed. Got a little scrum there in front of the net.
Scrum in front of the net, and a little bit of pushing and shoving, but I think the Firebirds able to occupy the puck, and so we'll sit at 59 seconds left in this penalty.
That was a nice play by Jack Blisle going back down low to Trey Stocker, and then Stocker just walks right out in front of the net.
Hey Mustang fans, Marvin is a fourth-generation, family-owned and operated business headquartered in Warren, Minnesota, with more than 5,500 employees across 16 cities in North America, including Fargo, West Fargo, and Grafton. Join Marvin full-time or part-time on a day, evening, or weekend shift. Apply online at marvin.com/careers.
All right, about 50 seconds left on this power play here. Well, Jaden Rogan's going to be up top, leaves it over for Carson Teckenberg to Klaus, back to Rogan. Rogan's going to look to that play back again to Cooper Klaus. And, unfortunately for the Mustangs there's no one in front of goaltender White, and he's able to see that shot, above the tops of the circles all the way. And he's a senior goalie and someone who's seen a lot of shots this year. And with that, hopefully, there's a lot of improvement. And this is not his first go-around with it. In fact, he even played in the high school elite league this fall. So there's obviously some people that have some pretty high praise for him as a goaltender. So Mosier slides it back over to Teckenberg. Teckenberg goes across to Rogan. Rogan's unable to handle that pass cleanly, but retrieves it, sends it back up to Mosier. Mosier fakes a shot, goes over to Teckenberg. Teckenberg fakes that little give and go with Klaus that they've been doing so much and tries to put a shot on, but misses the net. Rogan backhand pass across the zone to Teckenberg. Teckenberg circles back and elects to leave it for Mosier.
About 10 seconds to go in the power play here. Let's see if the Mustangs go for one last push.
Mosier's going to take the puck down below the goal line, back up to Rogan. Rogan takes a shot through some traffic and through some screens. And
puck open in
Caleb,
front of the net there for a second. But
Caleb Mattern was taking a couple whacks at it and unfortunately was able to put it in the back of the net. Mattern behind the net now stops, goes back, changes course, and then throws it back behind the net. So a good cycle by the Mustangs there. And that puck is going to be sent all the way down. Those Devils Lake Firebirds that were out there for the majority of the 2 minutes was spent in the Devils Lake zone. So just electing to throw it down the ice with 1:19 left here, take a face-off to
It's probably the sequences like that, Letowski, where you're pretty gassed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, where you haven't had a lot of practice here. For Devils Lake, they probably are one of the more unfortunate teams where you got to have a long bus trip. So they get a long bus trip coming down here. Then you have an early start time where people don't quite have the vibe. This is a tough situation probably for Devils Lake.
Oh, it absolutely is. That's about a 2-hour plus bus ride, and it's not exactly very warm out there either, and you feel that on the bus. So, it does throw your routine off a little bit, and obviously if you're Cheyenne, you want to come out and do what you've done in this first period. As we see Devils, you're going to call no icing there, but you don't want a team to travel all the way down that far and control the pace in the first period. As Hapka slides it over to Mattern. Mattern's going to try to go back to Hapka, but unfortunately wasn't able to get much on that pass. So Charlie Leshevsky does a nice job holding that puck in and then takes his man out just for good measure. So the puck's thrown all the way across. We got about a minute left here in the first period, and Mason Christensen throws it on net. And again, we're going to have same song and dancer. So we're going to have a face-off just to the left of the Devils Lake goaltender. And out, we're going to get fresh unit here. So it looks like Blisle, Stocker, and Jaden Rogan are going to come out up top. Looks like Colin McCarthy and Nate Pearl. So that's probably how we'll end up finishing this period here. Shots right now are 15-6 in favor of the Cheyenne Mustangs.
47 seconds to go in this first period. Letowski, obviously, if you're Coach Benson, you got to feel pretty good about having a 2-0 lead, and you got to feel pretty good about keeping the puck in your offensive zone. Yeah,
and certainly you're aided by 3 power plays, and if you're Devils Lake, that's one of the things that if you're the Devils Lake coaching staff, one of the things you're going to want to talk about is, guys, we got to stay disciplined, got to stay within ourselves. and right as I say that, I thought maybe they would call that one there, but as Belial took a big hit, and then I believe it was Jaden Rogan that went and tried to lay another big hit himself. So, it looks like we got 45 seconds left here, I believe, when that puck was dropped, and we've seen some bodies are flying around out there. So Devils Lake's going to try to break it out, and Nate Pearl is going to try to hold that puck up around the red line. Puck dumped in here. We got 7 seconds left. McCarthy's probably just going to try to hold on to this. Throws it all the way down. Tipped into the zone by Jaden Rogan, and that's going to end our first period. So as we said, the Mustangs go on to the power play 3 times. They're able to cash in on one of those. That was a goal by Carson Techberg on a fantastic pass by Zach Mosier on that second power play. And then the first goal of the game was a nice play, just about a minute and a half into the game. That was Trey Stocker right in front of the net, took a nice pass from Jack Belial. So, Mr. Knodel, if you're the Mustangs, what are some of the things that you're going to want to talk about in between periods, some of the things that you did well that you're going to want to continue?
Well, obviously, you were fortunate to be on the positive side of their 3 errors, and they get the penalty. So, when you're in a situation like this where you're up, not that you tell them, you still want to skate to be aggressive, but you just can't make big mistakes. You got to be smart out there. You can't get chippy where all of a sudden you put yourself or your team in a bad situation. So it's probably about smart play at this point, and making sure that you're not making any big errors that gets Devils Lake some momentum and gets them fired up, or maybe gets them a quick, easy goal. So that's probably part of it. I think if I'm Coach Benson, I'm also wondering a little bit about where else other than this one dominant line that we've had, where else are the points coming from? Right now we saw the goal out of Trey Stocker, we saw the goal out of Teckenberg, but where else can we get some offensive firepower so that we can feel like there's a little bit more consistency through the lineup? And that's probably a question that needs to be answered, not just in this game, but probably over the course of the next few weeks, because if the Mustangs want to make that push into the EDC tournament, they're going to have to find a little bit more offense outside of those top 3 guys. Yeah,
and you look at teams that are able to go deep into playoffs and be successful in playoffs. Those are the teams that are going to be able to have both the offensive and the defensive depth throughout their lineup. So you're right, that is one of the things. And as we talked about, Trey Stocker got the last goal in that game against Dickinson, and then he also opened the scoring for the Mustangs here. So that's a player you look to. Trey's got some offensive skill, and hopefully that second line of Belial, Stocker, and Rogan, hopefully they can start to chip in a little bit more offensively, and even that third line. It's changed a little bit throughout the year, but you are right. You're going to want to find some depth throughout your lineup and some scoring punch. So with that, we'll take a short break, and then we'll be back for second period action.
So before we leave, just a reminder, one of our other sponsors.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Bar Down. Bar Down Restaurant is a family destination for sports lovers and area residents, featuring 24 HD TVs, pool table, dartboards, arcade area, and extensive gaming. Bar Down is located in the New Lights on the corner of Sheyenne and 32nd Avenue in West Fargo, right next door to the West Fargo Hockey Arena. We look forward to seeing you after the game.
What I like about manufacturing is honestly the challenges that come forth. So I've never worked manufacturing before. This is my first manufacturing job. So it's very new to me, and every day is a challenge, especially working in quality and as a leader. So it's pretty nice to still be in that customer service kind of mentality and doing things for other people and creating a great product. So it's always kind of been my goal. I did fast food for 8 years before this. So it's kind of like a different setting of customer service, and I always like helping others.
My favorite part of my job is I've never had the same day twice. I spend about half of my time on the production floor and about half my time in the office. So I might be in a meeting about a new product that's coming out and how we're going to build it, or speccing out a new piece of equipment, and I might get a radio call that something on the line isn't going quite right, or a piece of equipment needs an attention, and making sure we get all the right people in to get everything up and running as it should.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that I get to work around nice people, and I'm always on my feet. I'm moving around a lot, not sitting around. My typical day is having units come down the line. I see what parts they need and I put the parts on.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that I'm more on the design side of things, so I can kind of see the whole process of me designing a component and then it being implemented into the line. So that process of being able to design something and then have it be fully realized based on a production team is something that's really special for me to see.
the big thing I like about manufacturing is you kind of see the entire process in front of you. It's not just someone telling you this is the theory, that's how it's applied. You kind of get to see why it's applied that way, how to test it, how to make it work out of a small concept or idea.
I like working in manufacturing because you get to really see your design come to life into like actual material, and you can hold it and you can look at it and you can open it. On the engineering side, I'm a little less on the actual physical building of the products, but I get to look at the design. I get to think about how things are going to come together, think about the different constraints that we have in terms of like materials and equipment, and getting to mix all of that together to get a finished product, I think is a really satisfying thing for me. So the typical day for me usually starts with some meetings in the morning. We do a lot of collaborative work with the other engineers in our department, and even some drafters and modelers and different designers. And then I usually spend quite a bit of time at my desk, either running calculations, making 3D models, doing different simulated tests, and then sometimes I'm even out in the shop getting to interact with our products, doing some test wall activity as well as installing and uninstalling the units.
What I like about working in manufacturing is the fact that it's all teamwork. Not only that, it's a lot of things that a lot of people don't fully understand in how windows are made, so I think that's pretty cool.
Bar Down Restaurant and Sports Bar, an experience like no other. Whether it's the unbelievable food or in drinks, Bar Down will tame any appetite. Featuring specialty burgers, outrageous appetizers, street tacos, stone oven pizzas, and so much more. Have fun with pool, darts, and charitable gaming, or watch any game on our amazing 24 HD TVs. Plus, check out our huge patio, daily specials, and fantastic happy hour. Bar Down, family friendly, on the corner of Cheyenne Street and 32nd Avenue, West Fargo.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that you get to work with a lot of different people with different skill sets, everywhere from engineering to people who are just good with their hands. So for myself, I never really envisioned that I'd be working in manufacturing, but I gave it a try, and HR has definitely become my passion.
I like working in manufacturing because it's something different every day, fast-paced environment. Every day is, new challenge, and it keeps it very exciting.
So I like to work in the manufacturing setting, using my engineering degree to really be able to support the products that we make. Depending on the project, I'm able to turn an idea on the computer into a real product out on the manufacturing floor.
What I like about manufacturing is honestly the challenges that come forth. So I've never worked manufacturing before. This is my first manufacturing job. So it's very new to me, and every day is a challenge, especially working in quality and as a leader. So it's pretty nice to still be in that customer service kind of mentality and doing things for other people and creating a great product. So it's always kind of been my goal. I did fast food for 8 years before this. So it's kind of like a different setting of customer service, and I always like helping others.
My favorite part of my job is I've never had the same day twice. I spend about half of my time on the production floor and about half my time in the office. So I might be in a meeting about a new product that's coming out and how we're going to build it, or speccing out a new piece of equipment, and I might get a radio call that something on the line isn't going quite right, or a piece of equipment needs an attention, and making sure we get all the right people in to get everything up and running as it should.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that I get to work around nice people, and I'm always on my feet. I'm moving around a lot, not sitting around. My typical day is having units come down the line. I see what parts they need and I put the parts on.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that I'm more on the design side of things, so I can kind of see the whole process of me designing a component and then it being implemented into the line. So that process of being able to design something and then have it be fully realized based on a production team is something that's really special for me to see.
The big thing I like about manufacturing is you kind of see the entire process in front of you. It's not just someone telling you this is the theory, that's how it's applied. You kind of get to see why it's applied that way, how to test it, how to make it work out of a small concept or idea.
I like working in manufacturing because you get to really see your design come to life into like actual material, and you can hold it and you can look at it and you can open it. On the engineering side, I'm a little less on the actual physical building of the products, but I get to look at the design. I get to think about how things are going to come together, think about the different constraints that we have in terms of like materials and equipment, and getting to mix all of that together to get a finished product, I think is a really satisfying thing for me. So the typical day for me usually starts with some meetings in the morning. We do a lot of collaborative work with the other engineers in our department, and even some drafters and modelers and different designers. And then I usually spend quite a bit of time at my desk, either running calculations, making 3D models, doing different simulated tests, and then sometimes I'm even out in the shop getting to interact with our products, doing some test wall activity as well as installing and uninstalling the units.
What I like about working in manufacturing is the fact that it's all teamwork. Not only that, it's a lot of things that a lot of people don't fully understand in how windows are made, so I think that's pretty cool.
Welcome back, fans, to the West Fargo Sports Arena. After one period of play, the Sheyenne Mustangs have skated out to a 2-0 lead over the Devils Lake Firebirds and Mr. Knodel. One of the things we talked about is how would Sheyenne, they hadn't played a game in 11 days, which was probably okay because the one game they did play was outside and they probably had to let their toes and hands thaws out a little bit. But one of the things we talked about is what would we see after having a long delay, and Sheyenne came out in the first period and was able to control most of the play offensively and put 16 shots on net.
Yeah, I think this week is really going to be pivotal for the Mustangs because it has not I wouldn't say necessarily it's been a slow schedule, but right now we're sitting at a game today, a game tomorrow, a game Saturday. So in the next 5 days, you're going to know a lot about this team and how it's going to play out in the second half of the season. So, if you can pick up a win today, maybe win one of the two against Grand Forks Red River and Minot. You feel maybe like you have some momentum coming out of this holiday break here. You won a couple of games, as you said, in the frigid cold of next door here out at the lights, and So you feel like you have some momentum, but I think for this Mustang team in particular, in order to kind of take those next steps, they have to build a level of confidence against really good opponents. We saw some of that last year from these Mustangs. They seem to gain a lot of confidence against a really quality team like South Shanley.
Mm-hmm.
They really skated well against those guys. They started to learn, hey, we can compete with the upper echelon of teams. Now we bring in some young kids. The program had a lot of seniors last year. This group maybe doesn't have that level of confidence yet against those upper echelon teams. They haven't put that game together yet. And I think it'll be really interesting to see if, in the next week or two, with this kind of compacted schedule, if they can start pulling off some of that momentum.
Oh, and certainly tomorrow you got Grand Forks Red River that's coming to the West Fargo Sports Arena, and they got 22 points. They sit in first place, and that's a team that Sheyenne had to open the year against, and they played them tough. It was 5-3 on the road in Grand Forks, and so that's going to be the first EDC team that they're going to see for a second time. So it's going to see, how much did they improve, or what areas maybe against a good team, what areas do they still need to work on? As
a little bit of a sloppy start there.
Yeah, it was. There was a offensive zone opportunity there for Devil's Lake, and then Sheyenne trying to get it out of the zone, and Rogan throws it, tries to throw it off the glass to Belial. Unfortunately, he was unable to skate into it, and so we're going to have an icing here just 17 seconds into the period. We're going to have a face-off to the left of Peyton Buchholz.
And then, what I said, Lutovsky's coming into that second period, that you got to try to really work on being mistake-free, and sure enough, just a couple of seconds into that, Mustangs kind of fortunate they made a mistake there, and fortunate that Buchholz was able to make the first save of the second period, and you got to be sharp if you want to beat not just this team, but you want to kind of move on and have that mistake-free kind of mentality moving forward against these really tough teams like they're going to have tomorrow night in Red River.
Oh, absolutely. And Teckenberg makes a nice pass off the boards of Cooper Klaus there. Klaus drives. Unfortunately, puck just slips off his stick there as Klaus is going to throw it back to Nate Pearl. Pearl goes down to Mosier. Mosier throws it in front there looking for a tip, a screen, or a rebound as you had Teckenberg standing right there.
Yeah, Teckenberg looking for a second goal opportunity there. The puck was kind of just skating around right in front of him there. He wasn't able to snag that one. And great offensive push there by, I believe that was, who do we have? Was that Klaus coming down the side there? And he had a really good opportunity. Just lost control of the puck for just a moment. Nice hit there by Firebirds, frees up the puck.
Yeah, it was Jacob Lurin who had a nice hit there on Zach Mosier. Mosier was trying to cut in and take a shot. Unfortunately, Mosier's going to go for an interference there. I don't know, a little bit of frustration there. And Mosier tried to take it out on Parker Swanson. Unfortunately, the official, I believe that's referee Mike Holm, he's going to see that otherwise, and he's going to give Mosier, looks like he's going to give him 2 minutes for an elbow. So, we didn't see the Mustangs have to go on the penalty kill here in the first period. They went on the power play 3 times, so this is going to be the first time that we're going to see the other half of the special teams here, and that's one of the things that this year that hasn't been as sharp for the Mustangs. And so hopefully, we can create some good momentum here and shoring up the special teams play.
Not that you ever want to see a penalty, but if you want to work on something, one of the things Mustangs are going to have to get better at, because you're going to have these opportunities, is they're going to have to learn to kill the penalty, get better at that throughout the season, hey, we'll see if we get an opportunity to actually put one in net here.
Well, I believe that there were some that were looking around for it was Cooper Klaus that got tripped up, and eventually that puck found the stick of Jack Belial as he came all alone and on a breakaway. It was unfortunate I wasn't able to get the shot off, but I think there were some that were looking for the official's arm to raise, as we see here, as Caden Brandvold's going to carry the puck in for Devil's Lake. But it's going to bounce out here to Cooper Klaus. Klaus is in all alone, takes a shot. That's deflected there partially by Braden Connor for the Firebirds. Puck comes out, and Mustangs are really controlling it here as McCarthy slides it over to Christensen. Christensen, he's going to send it all the way down.
Yeah, pretty good job there by Brendan Connor, number 15 for the Firebirds. Had one of the best goal scorers for the Mustangs on a pretty good opportunity, and he was able to knock that one away.
That was a good job by Cooper Klaus and Jack Belial up front there on the penalty kill. Puck's going to be carried in here now. That's going to be Brendan Connor. Looks to dump it in. Unfortunately for him, puck's going to end up all the way back down behind the net of goaltender White. He looks to just throw it around over there on the far wall. Trey Stockers there to intercept that pass. Bounces over to Rogan, and Austin Thompson is going to end up with it on a stick, but Mason Christensen intercepts that. So for the Mustangs here, they've made it very difficult for Devil's Lake to even get it up and out of the zone and create anything offensively as far as setting up their power play in the offensive zone. Another missed pass there, and that's going to be Christensen. Christensen throws it up. Looks to Trey Stocker. We got about 22 seconds left here on the kill, so this has been a good kill so far by the Mustangs. It's really been, it looks like we'll have a hand pass here, but really it was more didn't have to kill anything in their own zone. It was just totally playing offensive hockey. It was almost like the ice was tilted.
Yeah, I would say that's probably how I would look at that kill. That wasn't even just Mustangs playing great defense there. They actually turned that into an offensive opportunity multiple times there, and that's got to feel pretty good if you're Coach Benson.
Oh, absolutely. Blyle had a breakaway. Cooper Klaus had another good opportunity. So we got just 18 seconds left here on the penalty to Zach Mosier. Looks like Hapka's going to go out there, and Hapka's going to take that, and that's, you have senior forwards that are willing to do stuff like that, and those are the things that you're going to want out of your team as the calendar flips here from December into January, and then as the season rolls along.
Mustangs will be back at full strength.
Well, and just as you would have it, the puck does find Mosier coming out of the box. Mosier drives hard to the net, unfortunately, unable to get a great shot on, and then Chase Hapka tried to throw it up to Kalen Mattern and didn't connect, and Devils Lake is going to come away with the puck.
Good idea there by Hapka, expecting somebody to kind of trail in the middle of the ice there, but unfortunately no one was home as he tried to send that pass backward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scrum for it now.
Yeah, mad scrum in front of goaltender Buckholz. Puck comes out to the Devils Lake line, and Chase Hapka's there to create some havoc there and make it difficult on the Devils Lake defenseman. And eventually Devils Lake, that's Hunter Thompson, or Austin Thompson, excuse me, he's going to throw it in. So that's going to be Ben Klaus is going to go all the way back behind the Cheyenne net to retrieve, and he goes off the boards to Kalen Mattern. Mattern's going to hold it and throw it into the Devils Lake zone.
So Lutzowski, obviously you were a hockey player coming out of Grafton. You get a scrum like we just saw there. There's a lot of pleasantries exchanged in those nice little pile-ups, aren't there?
Yeah,
a lot of people getting each other Snapchats and hey, how you doing? How are things going? You got any finals this week? That kind of stuff, right?
Well, a fossil like me, we didn't have Snapchat back then. But yes, you're right. It does get pretty intense as Jack Blyle chips it to himself nicely. It was a good defensive play there, however, by Caden Brandvold for the Firebirds. But Blyle goes all the way over to McCarthy. McCarthy's shot's going to be blocked. That's Charlie Leshevsky's out there now with Stalker, and Blyle parks himself right in front of the net. Charlie Leshevsky, sophomore forward, doing a nice job here. Holds on to the puck, holds on, gives it to McCarthy. McCarthy takes a shot that was tipped on the way through, and Zach White wasn't necessarily expecting that. But Devils Lake's going to chip the puck all the way down. It's going to be right on net of Buckholz, and Buckholz elects to throw it over to Cole McCarthy and play the puck himself. McCarthy back behind the net to Mason Christensen. Christensen tries to go up. Puck is knocked off his stick. And Devils Lake's going to dump it back into the zone. They're going to have to touch up and stay on side. Now they do. So Colin McCarthy's going to set up behind goaltender Buckholz. McCarthy does a nice little move there behind the net, evades a defender. And Devils Lake there is going to do a nice job of making life difficult on McCarthy. So Blyle elects to chip it in. Looks like the Mustangs are going to change. Jaden Rogan's going to be the lone forward here on the forecheck as we see Carson Teckenberg is going to come into the play and delivers a nice hit there. It's a nice pass up to that's Jacob Lurian for the Firebirds, but it was a better play by Mason Christensen defensively. So Mosier's got the puck and he can wheel, and he's going to elect to go all the way through the neutral zone here. He gets by the Devils Lake defenseman. That's Taylor Rowe. Tries to throw a shot on net on goaltender Zach White for Devils Lake, and he's able to make the save.
Pretty nice job there by Mosier, getting up the ice with some speed and giving himself an opportunity. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find the angle.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you can put that speed to use and put pressure on those defensemen as they're going backwards, and sometimes you see them suck all the way as we have a nice save there by goaltender Buckholz. But some defensemen you see they'll suck all the way in because that speed is creating such a disadvantage to them. They'll suck all the way into their goaltender and really in doing so give the offense a better scoring opportunity. So certainly a nice rush by Mosier there. So we're about we got 10:59 left here in the second period. Shots 18-11 for the Mustangs.
Firebirds have to feel pretty good, 10:56 to go here. They obviously holding that's 2-0 lead here, but the game is not out of hand. The Mustangs, if they were able to throw another one or two in this period here, that does change the kind of complexion of this game. But right now, the Firebirds have to feel pretty good. Shots on goal this period has been about even, maybe a little bit even in favor of the Firebirds right now, 18-11. But that was pretty, one-sided in the first. So I think right now the Firebirds have to feel pretty good as they're trying to make a push here.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a team that, they started the year with 2 wins. They went on the road and they beat Minot 4-3, and then parlayed that into a win over Bottineau Rugby 6-4. So, they are a team on the year that's been able to, find the win side of the column. Unfortunately, in the EDC, it's been a little bit tougher sledding, but they're certainly a team that is hoping that they can be opportunistic and keep the game close here. We got Nate Pearl's going to go, and he's going to chip it off the wall. He's going to look for Zach Mosier. Mosier's going to try to skate into it, but that's going to be Max Langton's going to hold on to the puck and make a nice play, and then Mosier lays a nice hit on him to separate him from the puck.
Connor lost his stick there, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that puck was chipped out of the zone. I believe that's going to be Caleb Schaub, and Caleb Schaub was skating down on Joseph Brissonette, and Brissonette is a forward by trade, and Caleb Schwab was able to get to the outside. We talked about, the Devils Lake scores this year. He's one of them. He's got 7 points and 6 of them are goals. That's going to be his 7th one right there. So, just talking about it, if you're the Firebirds, you gotta be a little bit opportunistic there. Maybe it's throwing a puck off the wall and skating into it, or trying to take some chances there. But you talked about it was a one-shot game, or back then it was a two-shot game. Now it's just a one-shot game. So, for the Mustangs, you're going to have a real strong pushback here after that goal. And that's going to be a big hit there. That's going to be Hunter Reagan on Joseph Brissonette.
Hey Mustang fans, today's broadcast is brought to you by Gateway Chevrolet. Gateway is your trusted Chevrolet dealership in Fargo. From the time you enter our showroom when you service with us, you can expect to be treated like family each and every visit. Come visit us today at FargoChevrolet.com. Talking
about being opportunistic right there on that shift there. That was Hunter Reagan. Had a point-blank chance. And this is really not the shift that, the Mustangs want after giving up a goal here. They're spending, a little bit of time in their zone and giving up a grade A scoring opportunity.
Yeah, I think, again, kind of going back to some of Coach Benson's goals for the second half of the season, it's got to feel like, hey, you got to win every period. You got to be smart every period. And right now the Firebirds have the advantage this period, and already got one in the net, and now it's really a different ball game.
Absolutely. So Pitts here is going to hope to change that momentum. That would have gone for an icing. Hit the official's foot. Goes straight from there onto the net of goaltender White. So if you're Devils Lake,
you get that one through the 5-hole. Does the official get the goal on that? How does that work?
Not quite sure how that one works there, Mr. Knoll. But back behind the net here, Trey Stocker is going to look to find Belisle. Belisle, right out in front. That was a great pass by Belisle to Rogan. Just put it over the top of the net. Rogan's going to hold. He gets to the top of the slot. It's a tough hit there on Rogan, I believe. Probably he's going to feel that. I don't know his hip or his leg, but. So Stocker plays behind the net. He's going to elect to hold the puck. We got a delayed call. It looks like that's going to be on the Firebirds. So the Mustangs are going to head back to the power plays. It goes up to Ben Klaus. Mosier sent it up to Klaus. Just hops over the stick of Klaus, and that's going to, as Devils Lake touches the puck, that's going to stop play, and we're going to have a face-off here down in the Firebird zone. So Mustangs are going to head back to the power play, and
I didn't see when the arm came up, but I think it may have actually been on the hit on Rogan.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give him a trip there on that. So, we talked about really not the shift the Mustangs wanted after giving up that goal, and the best thing that the Dr. Quarter right here is getting a chance to go to the power play and spend hopefully an extended period of time in the Devils Lake zone and get that momentum back on the side of Cheyenne. So Teckenberg wins that back to Rogan. Rogan slides it over the top. He goes over to Mosier as Teckenberg goes over Mosier there. Back to Rogan. In front, you got Caleb Mattern. He's going to be battling Max Langton right there in front of the net, trying to create some space and room, but also take some eyes away. Back up top here goes to Mosier. Mosier eyes a shot, elects to go back over to Teckenberg. Teckenberg back over to Mosier. Mosier looks to shoot, and that shot's going to be blocked there by Caleb Schwab. Rogan holds, back to Mosier. Mosier over to Teckenberg. Just how that second goal was scored, but Zach White's able to make the save there, and then Caleb Mattern was unable to get a stick on the rebound. Good opportunity, but nothing going for the Mustangs there. So Rogan's going to set up behind the net. He's going to elect to go over to Teckenberg. Teckenberg's going to slide it over to Zach Mosier. Mosier's going to carry the puck into the zone. Goes behind the net.
Does appear that they're trying to work that left side, and they look for it again.
Yeah, it was Mosier over there to Cooper Klaus, and a nice save by the Devils Lake goaltender. So down low here, Caleb Mattern, he's going to go up top to Jaden Rogan.
First minute down on the power play. We'll see if the Mustangs able to come up with something in the second half.
Yeah, Rogan went down to that was Mattern. Mattern went back up to Mosier, back to him.
Hey,
real nice pass.
Good opportunity there off the stick, number 9, Caleb Mattern.
That was a real nice pass by Zach Mosier. Mosier goes back to Klaus behind the net. Klaus is going to carry up over the circle, up top to Rogan. He slides to the middle, slides it back over to Zach Mosier. Unfortunately, not a flat pass. Tough for Mosier to handle.
Ooh. That one's deflected and does end up back in the sticks.
Yeah, that was a nice play by, that pass was deflected there, but a real nice play by Jaden Rogan to corral that and then pull it in himself and get a shot on net.
So 7 seconds left on the power play here. One last push for the Mustangs.
Ooh, nice chance there. Trey Stocker slid it back to Kalen Mattern, and Mattern took the shot. That was Buckholz that did a nice quick up there. He got the puck all the way up the ice as Devils Lake was looking to go for a change. It's one of the things in the second period here. It's a long way back from your defensive zone to your bench, and so if you have an alert goaltender and he's able to push that puck up the ice when you have penalty killers or forwards that are going for a change, and if you can get some guys stuck out there and maybe catch them on a change, that's certainly an advantage if they can do so. So it's 5:51 left here in the period. You got Jack Blyle takes the draw. Devils Lake is going to win that, but they throw it up. Mason Christensen does a nice job of holding the blue line. Down low, Jaden Rogan, real nice pass to Trey Stocker. Stocker lines it up, but a goaltender for Devils Lake there, Zach Wade. He's right on top of the crease and creates some good angles for himself and sucks that puck right into his chest there. So
looks like the Mustangs are playing with a little bit more fire and energy after that goal by the Firebirds. A little bit more focus, a couple of good shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, too, is what type of fight do you have in your team? And you want to see them bounce back from that. And, can they get through those tough situations or tough parts of the game? Real nice move here by Rogan. Unfortunately, it was a nice poke check there by goaltender White for Devils Lake. Rogan's going to hold on to the puck, though. It's almost like they're still on the power play here as he slides it back down low to Belisle. He tries to go to Stocker, and puck is going to bounce up over the net. Slides all the way over to McCarthy. McCarthy eludes a defender, takes a shot, blocked in front. That's going to be Austin Kemple for Devils Lake. Puck held in again by Christensen. Christensen goes down to Rogan. Puck bounces around, and eventually he's going to get out of the zone as Parker Swanson's going to play it off the boards to Colin McCarthy. McCarthy took a big hit there by, let's see, that's a Jacob Luring for Devils Lake. That was a nice play there. So Leshevsky and Belisle down below the net as we see Mattern's going to enter the fray here for the offense for the Mustangs, and that's going to be thrown all the way down the ice. Looks like officials are going to wave off any icing as McCarthy is having a hard time down there with a Devils Lake forward, McCarthy picks up. He's going to go off the wall to Leshevsky. Leshevsky tries to get it out. Unfortunately, was unable to do so, but the shot's blocked by Hapka. That's his second in just the last couple of shifts, and looks like that one hurt a little more than the first one did as Hapka's going to go back to the bench there. That's going to be Leshevsky's going to intercept that pass and play right in front of the net there. I'm not quite sure that's not called interference as the puck was nowhere near Mattern, but we're going to play on. Speaking of Mattern, he throws it down low there to Cooper Klaus. Klaus is going to spin and try to create a play with the puck as Mattern comes in for support. Mattern chips it back to Klaus, back to Mattern. Mattern tried to get it in front of Teckenberg and unfortunately was unable to find the stick of Carson. I believe that's the first we've seen of 33 Kean Hannestead out there. So we're getting a couple more Mustangs involved in the game here. We talked about one of the things you want is to build that depth and get guys into game situations.
I do take a peek over at the bench. Hapka's still hurting a little bit over there, trying to regain his composure, seeing if he's able to kind of fight through that pain that he's got right now, and he's moving all over the place, seeing if he can kind of work it out.
Yeah, and that's one of those things is, you're expected, your coach is expected to do it, your teammates expected to do it, but son of a gun, that puck certainly doesn't feel good, especially if you catch it in a wrist or something like that, or a spot that you don't have all that padding on. That certainly does not feel good, but your teammates are going to love you for it. So looks like Teckenberg tried to walk the center there and create a little offensive play right off the draw. You see number 5 here, Max Langton for Devils Lake. He's going to try to throw it out, but Nate Pearl does a real nice job there holding the puck. Teckenberg goes down to Klaus. Klaus is going to walk in and take a shot on net. It's going to be a rebound. That's going to be Hannestead that's going to be holding that puck there up at the point. He throws it back down to Mosier. Mosier eludes a defenseman, goes back up to Teckenberg. And again, there you got 5. If you look at the picture of the ice here, you got 5 Devils Lake players all on the inside and the interior of the ice, and all the white jerseys are on the outside. So if you're the goaltender, if you're going to be able to see that puck, you can't stand in the corner when someone's up at the top of the slot with the shot. You got to create a little bit more momentum and a little bit more, or not momentum, movement, around the net because he's faced 24 shots and one of them was a quick opportunity right in the first shift of the game, and then the second one was a real nice play on the power play. So this goaltender's showing that if he's going to see it, he's going to save the puck because they haven't beat him, square on. So they're going to have to create a little bit more.
A little bit of obstruction is what they're looking for, seeing if they get in his vision.
Absolutely, and Jaden Rogan was doing just that right there. As we're going to have a hand pass here. So anything else going on in Mustang world tonight there, Mr.
Oh,
Canola?
man, tonight is an unusual night that this is the only thing we got going on, but it is a busy week tomorrow. Oh, no, it's not true. We have girls basketball up at Grand Forks Central. That game was actually supposed to be held tomorrow night. The home and away combination got shifted because of some scheduling issues. So, yeah, our girls basketball team is up at Grand Forks Central. The boys will be coming down from Grand Forks Central to play our boys at our home court tomorrow night. And then on Thursday we have wrestling. That, I believe, is also against Devils Lake. That should be a really good matchup. I know the Devils Lake wrestling program has been really good. And actually for our wrestling program, it's really been, as we see a good shot on goal there. But, our wrestling program has had a great start to the season, undefeated in the EDC, along with Valley City, who is always a perennial powerhouse in wrestling. And this week for our wrestling program, we're going to have a couple of really important matchups with, like I said, Devils Lake, and they're going to have Fargo Davies. And so it is going to be a really, we see a huge hit there, but I think that one's, they're going to say, maybe doesn't come in clean.
Yeah, it's going to be, there were some hits here thrown around this shift, and that's going to be Jaden Rogan. It looks like they're going to give him head contact. Looks like that's probably going to be all, but yeah, I think that's going to be a 5. They're going to give him for a head contact there. That was a big hit right in front of the Mustang bench, and kind of as you were going through those Mustang activities and things like that, there were a couple hits, and I think some tempers were starting to flare up, and that's a play there where it's you're trying to make a body check and things like that, but he got his maybe hands up a little bit too high, so that's going to be a 5. So you got a minute 55 here left in the second period, and the Mustangs are going to have to kill that, and then that's going to roll over into the third period. So that's, hopefully for Sheyenne here, they can finish this off strong and, get back into the locker room, regroup a little bit, and then start that third period off fresh and strong. As Mosier's going to look to carry the puck up the ice here. He does. He's going to weave right through.
Real fortunate to get through there, but not able to get the shot on.
Yeah, he was kind of stick handling in a phone booth there and did a fine job of it. But we look at here as Devils Lake's going to carry the puck up the ice. It's going to be Caleb Schaub, sophomore forward, takes a shot on net. And it's going to be hounded by Colin McCarthy. That puck's going to go up top there. We have a shot. It looks deflected. Ooh, that was kind of a tricky little shot. I don't know if Buchholz saw all of that. So a big shot there coming from the point. That's going to be Carson Hansen takes that slap shot all the way from the point. But again, we talked about trying to get guys in front of the net, take away the goalie's eyes, and that's one of the things that Devils Lake's going to want to do here.
Hey Mustang fans, imagine and create better ways of living with Marvin. Join Marvin full-time or part-time. Apply online at marvin.com/careers.
All right, so a minute 09 here. We got left in the second period, as Teckenberg takes the draw. Teckenberg is going to win that. Nate Pearl is going to try to clear it out. Unfortunately, he's going to end up back. Colin McCarthy is able to send that around as the Devils Lake defenseman feels like just got obstructed by the linesman there, was unable to make a play.
The first few times that the Mustangs were trying to kill the power play, they had a couple of really good offensive sequences and rushes. We're going to have to see if they can pull that off here, because sitting with just under 4 minutes to go in this power play, the game's sitting to 2-1. We do not want this to flip script and go the other way. This has not been a perfectly played second period for the Mustangs, but if they're able to score one here and create some offenses, we see a great opportunity in front of the net there. Puck just kind of hanging out in front and no go though. But if they're able to put one in net here, while they're killing this power play, I think that would really be the momentum shift that they're going to need. Because otherwise, right now you're going to have to say, Devils Lake's won this period.
So shot there right on Buchholz. That's going to be shot by number 14. That's Jacob Lurin for Devils Lake. So we got just 13 seconds left here in the period, and still got 3:19 left on the kill for the Mustangs. And so right here, hopefully you win a draw and you can eventually ring the puck out of the zone and just hopefully kill the rest of this period here. It looks like we got Trey Stalker out there and Zach Mosier. Looks like Nate Pearl and I believe that's Cooper Close out there. He's going to be taking the draw. So as we say that, the Right there, the puck is going to be cleared out. That's going to be Nate Pearl, throws it down, hits off the stick of Zach Mosier. That's going to be just about all she wrote, though, for this period as the clock ticks down from 3, 2, and 1. And, and you talked about it, that, kind of maybe a frustrating period for the Mustangs there. Didn't have the same, level of, obviously, offensive success that they did in the first. They had to go on the kill a couple times, and obviously with this 5-minute here, so they're going to have to start this third period killing off 3 minutes of power play time for Devils Lake. And if you're Devils Lake, I think this is exactly what you want. A one-shot game, you're on the road. Anything can happen here. You're going to start the period with 3 minutes. And so, as a team that's come in here and they don't have a win yet in the EDC, this is exactly, if you're looking for the prescription on how you can, get into that situation, this is going to be exactly the best situation that they could ask for, being down in a game, obviously.
One thing you always want to look for coming into the third period is what's the body language looking like. And right now, Devils Lake does have a little bit of swagger coming. You see them coming to meet their goalie and feeling pretty good about the way that period played out. And for the Mustangs, you see a little bit of head hanging. Probably not excited about the way they played that period. And so I think this is where you start looking to your seniors and you start saying, okay, this didn't go the way we wanted, but we can still finish the job here. Let's get this third period done right and obviously come away with the dub.
Absolutely. So the first task for the Mustangs is going to be killing off the remainder of that penalty to Jaden Rogan for head contact. They still got 3:05 left on the kill. And then hopefully after that, then get back on the offensive side of things and play clean the rest of the game. So with that, we'll take a short break.
What I like about manufacturing is honestly the challenges that come forth. So I've never worked manufacturing before. This is my first manufacturing job. So it's very new to me, and every day is a challenge, especially working in quality. And as a leader, so it's pretty nice to still be in that customer service kind of mentality and doing things for other people and creating a great product. So it's always kind of been my goal. I did fast food for 8 years before this, so it's kind of like a different setting of customer service, and I always like helping others.
My favorite part of my job is I've never had the same day twice. I spend about half of my time on the production floor and about half my time in the office. So I might be in a meeting about a new product that's coming out and how we're going to build it, or speccing out a new piece of equipment, and I might get a radio call that something on the line isn't going quite right, or a piece of equipment needs an attention, and making sure we get all the right people in to get everything up and running as it should.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that I get to work around nice people, and I'm always on my feet. I'm moving around a lot, not sitting around. My typical day is having units come down the line. I see what parts they need and I put the parts on.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that I'm more on the design side of things, so I can kind of see the whole process of me designing a component and then it being implemented into the line. So that process of being able to design something and then have it be fully realized based on a production team is something that's really special for me to see.
The big thing I like about manufacturing is you kind of see the entire process in front of you. It's not just someone telling you this is the theory, that's how it's applied. You kind of get to see why it's applied that way, how to test it, how to make it work out of a small concept or idea.
I like working in manufacturing because you get to really see your design come to life into like actual material, and you can hold it and you can look at it and you can open it. On the engineering side, I'm a little less on the actual physical building of the products, but I get to look at the design. I get to think about how things are going to come together, think about the different constraints that we have in terms of like materials and equipment, and getting to mix all of that together to get a finished product, I think is a really satisfying thing for me. So the typical day for me usually starts with some meetings in the morning. We do a lot of collaborative work with the other engineers in our department, and even some drafters and modelers and different designers. And then I usually spend quite a bit of time at my desk, either running calculations, making 3D models, doing different simulated tests, and then sometimes I'm even out in the shop getting to interact with our products, doing some test wall activity as well as installing and uninstalling the units.
What I like about working in manufacturing is the fact that it's all teamwork. Not only that, it's a lot of things that a lot of people don't fully understand and how windows are made, so I think that's pretty cool.
Bar Down Restaurant and Sports Bar, an experience like no other. Whether it's the unbelievable food or in drinks, Bar Down will tame any appetite. Featuring specialty burgers, outrageous appetizers, street tacos, stone oven pizzas, and so much more. Have fun with pool, darts, and charitable gaming, or watch any game on our amazing 24 HD TVs. Plus, check out our huge patio, daily specials, and fantastic happy hour. Bar Down, family friendly, on the corner of Cheyenne Street and 32nd Avenue, West Fargo.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that you get to work with a lot of different people with different skill sets, everywhere from engineering to people who are just good with their hands. So for myself, I never really envisioned that I'd be working in manufacturing, but I gave it a try, and HR has definitely become my passion.
I like working in manufacturing because it's something different every day, fast-paced environment. Every day is, new challenge, and it keeps it very exciting.
So I like to work in the manufacturing setting, using my engineering degree to really be able to support the products that we make. Depending on the project, I'm able to turn an idea on the computer into a real product out on the manufacturing floor.
There's never been a better time to make even more at Marvin and Fargo. Careers building award-winning windows and doors at Marvin now start at $20 an hour, and new Marvin team members are immediately eligible for benefits on their very first day. Opportunities are available for full-time, part-time, evening, and weekend positions. Visit marvin.com/join us to apply. Don't forget, when you join the Marvin team, benefits start on day one, and open positions pay $20 an hour or more. Apply now at marvin.com/join us.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere.
There's never been a better time to make even more at Marvin and Fargo. Careers building award-winning windows and doors at Marvin now start at $20 an hour, and new Marvin team members are immediately eligible for benefits on their very first day. Opportunities are available for full-time, part-time, evening, and weekend positions. Visit marvin.com/join us to apply. Don't forget, when you join the Marvin team, benefits start on day one, and open positions pay $20 an hour or more. Apply now at marvin.com/join us.
In this place, we see potential like nowhere else. Here, vision is boundless. That's why we never settle. We look for the moments when everything becomes possible. The moments that inspire us to make every day better. In this place, there's no such thing as good. There's only great. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
What I like about manufacturing is honestly the challenges that come forth. So I've never worked manufacturing before. This is my first manufacturing job. So it's very new to me, and every day is a challenge, especially working in quality and as a leader. So it's pretty nice to still be in that customer service kind of mentality and doing things for other people and creating a great product. So it's always kind of been my goal. I did fast food for 8 years before this. So it's kind of like a different setting of customer service, and I always like helping others.
My favorite part of my job is I've never had the same day twice. I spend about half of my time on the production floor and about half my time in the office. So I might be in a meeting about a new product that's coming out and how we're going to build it, or speccing out a new piece of equipment, and I might get a radio call that something on the line isn't going quite right, or a piece of equipment needs an attention, and making sure we get all the right people in to get everything up and running as it should.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that I get to work around nice people, and I'm always on my feet. I'm moving around a lot, not sitting around. My typical day is having units come down the line. I see what parts they need and I put the parts on.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that I'm more on the design side of things, so I can kind of see the whole process of me designing a component and then it being implemented into the line. So that process of being able to design something and then have it be fully realized based on a production team is something that's really special for me to see.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because this, it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
All right, Mustang fans, welcome back to the West Fargo Sports Arena as we are done with 2 periods of play here. We just got the 3rd period left here, and this should be a good one here, Mr. Canola. You got a 2-1 game, and West Fargo is going to start with 3 minutes on the power play here.
Yeah, obviously this is going to be telling right away whether or not the Mustangs can kill off this 3-minute power play that they have left. If the Mustangs can do that, obviously up 1 goal, that does put the Firebirds in a pretty precarious situation here, kind of maybe having to press a little bit because they haven't really been able to force the offensive sequences that they wanted, and then that 1 chip up the side there, and they were able to fire 1 past Buckholz. But other than that, really they've struggled on the offensive side. But right now, 2-1, they're in a really good situation with 3 minutes and a man advantage.
Absolutely. And one of the things I think I'd like to see if I were the Mustangs is how they killed, I believe it was that first penalty that was in the 2nd period that the Mustangs took when Devils Lake was on the power play. And they really, instead of sitting back and letting the play come to them and defending their own zone, they took Devils Lake to task on the offensive side, and they had some nice chances. You had Belisle had a nice chance, Cooper Klaus had a nice chance, so those two did a real nice job. So as you said, this is going to be telling pretty early on here. This is going to be a huge period for the Mustangs to see what type of mettle do they have about them, what type of grit do they have about them, and obviously if you're Devils Lake, you didn't come 2.5 hours here to to not leave it all out here. You got a long bus ride back that you can rest up on, and as we talked about, one of the things here with Devils Lake is they're a prideful team that's looking to get in the win column too, and coming into the 3rd period here on the road, just down a goal with 3 minutes of power play time, it's exactly what they could want. And
obviously, like you said, maybe the momentum shifted a little bit in favor of the Firebirds here, but the game also got a little bit chippier, a little bit more physical. We saw some big shots being taken. It did result in some penalties too, but when the game starts getting like that, which team is able to kind of hold their composure and keep their head about them? Because at the end of the day, it might be one dumb mistake, one quick mistake there because you kind of lose your composure. That might be the difference in being able to pull this one off or not. And right now, the Mustangs up 2-1. They probably can't afford, if they want to really kind of finish this one off to lose by making those kind of mistakes.
Absolutely, and 5-on-5, just from my eye here, and I don't know if you agree or not, Mr. Knodel, is I believe that the Mustangs are the more talented team up front. I believe they have more depth. They some of their playmakers up front I think are a little bit more skilled. And so one of the things if you're Sheyenne is you don't want to put a situation in where you can control the play 5-on-5 and you don't want to have a situation where you put Devils Lake back on the power play. So as you were talking about some other activities, you have the girls that sit in 6th place in the EDC for girls basketball. They're on the road tonight, and certainly you have the Sheyenne boys who sit up there sharing 1st place with the West Fargo High Packers. And boys played all this week. Any games for them?
Yeah, the boys will play tomorrow night against Central. Central's got a young team, but they do have a couple of sophomores that are really fine players. One player who's just really physical, but what the Mustangs are doing right now. I talked to Coach Kurt Schaffner on their team is just it's a really interesting team. They lost all 5 of their starters last year. A lot of people expected the Mustangs to be, let's see what they're made of. They can't be that good. Here they are, fired away at 7-1 now, I think, and I keep telling Kurt Schaffner, I said, I don't know how you're doing, man. You're shooting 20% from the three-point line. You're shooting 48% from free throws. But they have tremendous length, and they out-rebound their opponents by over 12 rebounds a game. That's an equation for even when you're not shooting well, you're going to get a lot of dubs.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a player to watch there, just watch Mr. Michael Nile.
Oh,
he's worth the price of admission.
Yeah, if you like watching dunks, that's the guy. So, hey, we get started here. 16:45 to go in the third now. Mustangs down a man. We'll see if Firebirds come out shooting fast. Yeah, that's going to be Caleb Schwab. His shot's going to be deflected there by Zach Mosier. That's going to go up and behind the net, and Schwab's going to corral the puck here up near the blue line. He's going to step in, take a shot that hits the glove of Peyton Buckholz, unable to secure it, but the puck goes all the way back down. So about 2:25 here is going to be left in the power play for the Devils Lake Firebirds, as Cooper Klaus is going to make life difficult for Devils Lake as they try to break out of the zone. Nice job there by McCarthy, too. He saw that loose puck around the net and just kind of sacrificed his body and shot that one all the way down on the side.
Yeah, Brendan Connor tried to carry it in, and that's going to end up back on the stick of Jack Belisle of the Mustangs. Him and Cooper Klaus up front. Belisle is going to make a nice move. And
that's
no.
Light
they're
on.
going to call that off. It was the red light went on behind the net, and Cullen McCarthy's got his hands extended. We don't have a stoppage in play. The red light went on. It must have Belisle's shot must have gone off the crossbar. So it looks like me and you kind of had our wires crossed there a little bit, Mr. Knoedel.
I guess so.
All right, as Schwab is going to be at the top of the circle, shoots. And right there you have a Devils Lake player, and he's standing right to the side of the net, and I don't quite understand that. Get in front, take his eyes away, and then you can work for a tip, or maybe at the last second you can move, but it doesn't really do a heck of a whole lot of good unless
you get a really good you get the closest angle on if something goes through.
It's true. I mean, and you can stand there for a rebound, but Peyton Buckholz, he's an all-state goaltender coming back from last year.
You need to obstruct.
Right. So that's going to be Dayton.
And they're doing a better job of it this time around.
Yeah, that was Dayton Lunick that took a shot there, and right in front of the net you had Parker Swanson and Jacob Lurian trying to take the eyes away of the goaltender. That's going to be Caden Brandvold is going to be battling there, but the puck's going to squirt all the way out of the zone. Going back for it is going to be Carson Hansen. He's going to go behind the net, doesn't elect to just set up, throws it back around. That's Caden Brandvold that's going to have the puck now as Chase Apka makes a nice play on deflecting that pass. Up to Parker Swanson, and unfortunately the Devils Lake player is going to spill to the ice, and the Mustangs are going to, Zach Mosier here can pick it up and hopefully just send it all the way down the ice. He's got room, he's got time, space. Throws it up, but unfortunately he only gets about as far as the red line as Carson Hansen playing center field there picked that one off, but he throws it back down to Caden Brandvold, and the puck eventually does find its way into the Firebird zone.
Last push here for the Firebirds, probably with about 40 seconds to go in this power play to see if they're able to kind of produce something. Oh, and a great opportunity for the Mustangs.
Well, that was Chase Apka going all alone there in the breakaway, and unfortunately I left you all alone to see that, partner, because Zach Mosier laid a hit here down in the corner, and that's going to be for Devils Lake. That's going to be Jacob Lurian, and unfortunately for him, he went feet first into the board, and I worry about that ankle there. Mosier laid a hit on him, and just the way that his legs were when he came up, that foot went right into the boards, and he's having a difficult time, getting up to his feet there. So, Chase Hapka, unfortunately for you, one of the most exciting points of the game. He went kind of silent there, but I was
letting you call that, man.
Well, I was by the time
I cut you in.
By the time I looked up, he was already about to make his move, because I thought maybe they were going to blow the whistle dead, because Luring had laid there for maybe a good 4 or 5 seconds, and
that two good opportunities for the Mustangs though. Blyle had the first one. We had the breakaway there, but 25 seconds ago in this power play, at least the Mustangs don't have anything to show for those offensive efforts, but they did certainly look pretty powerful, and took that offensive mindset that we talked about.
Yep, absolutely. And right there off the faceoff, Carson Teckenberg tries to go right through the center's legs and create something right off a faceoff. So puck goes into the corner where Zach Mosher's going to corral. You just got about 10 seconds left here on the penalty to Jaden Rogan, and then he's going to come out and join his line mates in Carson Teckenberg and Zach Mosher. Nice pass there by Devils Lake to get it up. That's going to be Caleb Schwab is going to carry, but unfortunately that's going to be just offsides for the Firebirds. That was a nice gap there by Cullen McCarthy too. He's got a stick length gap right on Caleb Schwab, not allowing him, making it very difficult for him to enter the zone, not allowing it to be an easy entry.
So they did, 1 second left here in the power play. They did kill this power play, and that is obviously ultimately maybe a bit of a game changer for the Mustangs, and sets them kind of to finish this period the way they started the first.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rogan's going to enter back into play here after serving that 5-minute head contact penalty, and he's going to be out there with looks like Stocker and Belial, and up top you're going to have Christensen and Nate Pearl. So nice play by there. Stocker's going to disrupt the play, but Caleb Schwab's going to carry the puck. He's going to be able to get around Nate Pearl as he's going to go down into the corner. Takes a hit by Jack Belial, but throws it out in front of the net, and Mason Christensen sends it up, but it's a nice play by Max Langton to hold that puck into the zone. Throws it back all the way down as Nate Pearl now is going to try to get it out of the zone, chips it off the glass, and does so nicely to Trey Stocker. Stocker carries in, takes a shot. Oh, great opportunity for a rebound in front by Jack Belial, but unfortunately he had a Devils Lake player draped all over him, and just ended up putting it wide, but it was a good shot there. Nice low hard shot by Stocker, created that rebound. Devils Lake's going to look to push the momentum up the ice, but a nice play by Pearl there. He's going to corral that puck. Pearl carries in, waiting for some cavalry. Fortunately, there's no one joining him there, so Pearl took the shot. Minimal rebound, that's going to go all the way down. Peyton Buchholz had an opportunity there, or a choice, I should say, whether to play it or not, and he lets that puck go all the way down for an icing. So 12:47 left here in the third period. You got shots are on goal, 29-23 in favor of the Mustangs, but we haven't seen the Mustangs find the back of the net since about midway through the first period, and so we're hoping to see a little bit of an offensive output here for the boys in white in this third period. So Hapka's on the draw. Looks like it's going to be eventually corralled there by Joseph Brissonette. He throws it down. Hapka, he's all over the defenseman. Charlie Leshevsky's going to enter in there. Sorry, that wasn't Brissonette. That was Kalen Mattern, senior forward. Gets it over to Hapka. Unable to corral that on his stick, but Hapka makes a nice move, and he's going to carry the puck into the zone.
Busy night tomorrow night across the entire state of North Dakota for hockey. This is the only game on record tonight, but tomorrow night you have some pretty big ones. We have Bismarck and Bismarck High, that is, and Bismarck Century taking on each other at 7:15 at Bismarck Century. So we have West is going to have some rivalry games, and then we have Central and Davies. Obviously Davies losing that last one to Red River, and Central right at the top there as well. So that's going to be a seeding game, probably potentially tomorrow night there as well. And obviously the Mustangs are playing host to Red River, and Grafton going to host Fargo North. So a lot of action throughout the state.
Yeah, that's a big night in Grafton tomorrow, man. That's a quadruple header. They got wrestling, hockey, girls and boys basketball going on, and it's all paid for free by a sponsor of Cheyenne Mustang Media and Marvin Windows. So that'll be a fun night up there. It'll be a fun night in Bismarck too. Ooh, a nice pass there by McCarthy. Goes all the way up across the neutral zone to Zach Mosher. Mosher comes in with some speed, and that's going to be a nice defensive play by Caden Brandwell down there to push him to the outside. He wasn't never able to get that shot off there. Cooper Klaus is going to go and try to retrieve that puck. Him and Mosher down in the corner. It eventually ends up on the stick of Mosher. Tries to slide it to Teckenberg, goes all the way over, and McCarthy throws it back down.
It's kind of fun watching Mosier take off, though. Those first couple of pushes off the skates, he can get going.
Absolutely. Talk about, a player's first 3 strides, and he's able to get up and going pretty quick. He's 0 to 60 in a heartbeat there. So behind the net there, looks like Mason Christensen. He's going to throw it back down, throws it all the way down. Tries to find Teckenberg, just eludes the stick of Teckenberg, but Tech holds on to it, goes up to Colin McCarthy. McCarthy looked to find a lane, and just a nice play there by the goaltender. He elects to just deflect that off his stick up into the netting and get a face-off and get some fresh boys on the ice.
Hey Mustang fans, we want to take this time to remind you that Essentia Health is proud to sponsor Cheyenne High School's Mustang media team and this broadcast.
So 11 minutes to go in the third period. Mustangs hanging on to that 1-goal advantage. Shots on goal, which did favor the Mustangs pretty heavily in the first period, have really balanced themselves out over the last 2, 30-24 in favor of the Mustangs.
Yeah, they have. Devils Lake's had some nice opportunities and some nice zone time here in the second, third periods. So puck behind the net, and Jaden Rogan goes back for it, lays a body check there, eventually works its way over on the far wall where Nate Pearl is going to cut that puck off. One of the things Devils Lake is they're really just kind of trying to throw it out and find a guy that's streaking up the ice and hoping that they can maybe, find an odd man advantage some way. But eventually, that puck's going to eventually get thrown back down all the way behind the Mustang net where Pearl's going to collect. Pearl throws it around the wall there, trying to find a man. Unfortunately, the puck ends up in the slot, and that's a spot if you're the Mustangs that you got to make sure that pucks are kept out of that area because it's going to be chances just like that, and that's going to be for Devils Lake. That's Caleb Schwab. He's their goal scorer. He has their goal here today, his 7th goal of the season. And that's the type of thing that you need to shore up in these types of hockey games. You got a 2-1 game and only 10 minutes left in the third period. You got to make sure that you're smart with pucks.
And it does seem like predominantly the Firebirds have been kind of looking to get a breakaway here, firing something, seeing if they can get a guy that kind of breaks free. Haven't really had those kind of offensive sequences with multiple passes, and there we had one where the puck was out in front of the net for quite a while and had an opportunity there. For the Mustangs, I think you do have to ask yourself this question. They're not that they're playing like a desperate offensive strategy here. The Devils Lake is, but when you're only down 1 goal, it only takes one of those opportunities to land. As we see a nice little pass in the middle there, but broken up by the Mustangs.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Whistle over here on an injury.
Another Devils Lake player down. That's going to be Dayton Lunick, a sophomore forward. That's going to be down behind the net, and Colin McCarthy there that was going up the ice with the puck, and certainly he's not happy about the whistle, but he's going to have to live with it. And to your point, they don't always ask how, but they only ask how many, right?
That's
and so
right.
It's it can be as greasy of a goal as it can be, and it doesn't matter if it goes off a skate or if it's a breakaway goal. All that matters is that it's in the back of the net and it counts. And so it's one of the things is, sometimes late in games is it doesn't always have to be the pretty one. You just got to get pucks on net and get bodies around the net and hopefully find an opportunity.
That's McCarthy out there talking to the officials right now, trying to wonder why he wasn't given that opportunity to finish that play, and coming back with a little bit of frustration. I think he thought he had a breakaway opportunity.
So Pearl's going to intercept that puck. It looks like he's going to run into his own player there, a little friendly fire with Cooper Klaus, but eventually the puck is going to find its way back into the zone. And again, Devils Lake throws it up, and Caleb Schwab is right there to carry it into the zone. So Schwab takes a shot and then follows up his own rebound, and now McCarthy's going to have his opportunity to try to break the puck out. McCarthy throws it all the way up to Caleb Madden there, and that puck is chipped into the offensive zone.
So 9 minutes to play here in the third period. Not do or die time for Devils Lake just yet, but certainly they're going to maybe want to rethink, how they're going to finish this game with a couple of offensive opportunities, as we see maybe an opportunity with numbers here, but aren't able to push it fast enough. Shot goes a little bit glove side.
It's a nice play by Schwab there, though. He doesn't have much. There, you got 2-3 Mustangs that are coming back, and he's at the outside, but he does a nice job of. He gets the shot on net, number one, but then he does a nice job of keeping his feet moving and goes straight to the net and hard in the net, hoping that he can find some sort of rebound. So we got a face-off here to the left of Buckholz, 8:51. It's going to be Jack Blyle taking it, and he's good at pulling it on his backhand here, and he's certainly there. Does the job again, wins it back to McCarthy. McCarthy unable to get it over to Christensen, but Devils Lake throws that puck all the way out to the blue line, but they're able to hold it in. That's going to be Hunter Riggin that's doing a lot of hard work down in the corner for the Firebirds. Rogan carries out, goes all the way across, goes over to Belisle. Belile's going to take a body check there by Caden Brandvold. Puck comes all the way across. Mason Christensen looks to throw it down off the stick of Belisle. Christensen tries to throw it down. It doesn't end up getting to the intended target of Jaden Rogan, but nonetheless, Rogan ends up with the puck here. Makes a nice move to the middle of the ice, cuts back, circles back, throws it down to Stalker, ends up on the stick of Belisle. Stalker walks to the front, good opportunity, and the puck's there, but Devils Lake is able to hop on it before Sheyenne Mustangs. So this is kind of a shift here where you talk about you want to start to create some of that offensive zone momentum. You want to hem Devils Lake up in their own end. You got a line here that looks like they're doing a good job of that, and it looks like they're able to kind of out-physical and out-skate these three forwards out here that are out here for Devils Lake. So this is the type of shift that Sheyenne needs. That's going to hop just right over the stick of McCarthy. Hopefully he's got a guy there in the middle in Kalen Mattern. Throws it right off through the middle of the ice and right off the stick of Mattern into the corner. Mattern's going to corral it. Just throws it out front, but throws it right on the stick of a Devils Lake player. I think would have been better there to just throw that back down and cycle the puck instead of throwing it.
I don't know if you thought there was somebody on the other side there, but.
And again, that discussion that we had is being smart with pucks, knowing where Devils Lake guys are in front of the net, and just putting the puck into smart areas of the ice.
And this is probably that time where you got to start thinking situational hockey. Up one goal here. If you're able to put another one in net, it probably does finish the way things have been going for Devils Lake offensively. But on the other hand, you can't make big mistakes, as we see a little bit of a numbers game. But that pass gets knocked away.
Yeah, that was Klauser. He tried to go across. I was surprised maybe he didn't just hold on to it and carry it into the zone, but tried to go across to Kalen Matter, and that pass was eventually going to be intercepted. So it looks like here we got Leshevsky, Schauer, and Hapka, this unit, third unit for the Mustangs, are going to be out there with, looks like Mosier now is shifted back to a spot that he did play earlier in the year. He's back on D right now. They had him up front, and he was doing a real nice job on that line with Teckenberg and Klaus, so I don't know if there was an injury or not. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Good to see Hapka back out there after he was struggling a little bit on the bench there for a while, and I don't know. In baseball, you always say rub some dirt on it. I don't know. Can you rub some ice on it? How does that work?
Exactly what I was thinking. And in baseball, you hop out of the way and they'll yell wear it, and we got
puck ended up in a pretty difficult spot there. A little bit of pushing.
I believe they're going to call that on Colin McCarthy, and I believe that McCarthy does not feel like he's the guilty party, but I believe he got his arms up a little bit too high. That was Caleb Schwab, number 17, that was coming down. Yep, they're going to give him a hold. And then you had some rough stuff right there in front of the net. So, we talked about things you don't want to do is you want to be disciplined and you want to make sure. I think that's goaltender Buchholz. I think that's what he's skating over the bench to tell the guys is just play disciplined, be smart. You don't want one penalty to turn into two penalties with the stuff right in front of the net. And if you don't have to, if you don't have to get involved, don't get involved. But you got 6:24 left here in the game. A penalty to McCarthy shots are 31-27. So like you said, some of that momentum that Sheyenne had early in the game has tilted over to the Firebirds a little bit.
Yeah, you make a mistake there, turn this into a 5-on-3, and that really does shift things pretty significantly here. Situational hockey, be smart, keep your head, don't lose your composure, and finish this game out.
That was kind of dangerous. The handle on the puck ends up right on the stick of that's number 4. That's going to be Parker Swanson. He throws it out front for Jacob Lorien. Unfortunately for Devils Lake, unable to connect.
Boys over there did tell me that the stream crashed for just a second, so if you missed out, scoring opportunity was converted by the Firebirds and tied up the game here 2-2. So with 4:25 to go, this game we're starting from scratch.
So that crashed, and they didn't see any of it, huh?
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, it was Austin Thompson that scored the goal on a shot from Max Langton from the point. It was just a rebound on the side of the net, and Thompson had a yawning net. It was wide open, and pretty easy goal for him.
If you're a Mustang fan, you're probably glad that the stream went down for a second, but now we got to finish this game. 4:04 to go, 2-2. The last period and a half, essentially, the Mustangs have really not been able to kind of keep their heads about them in certain situations, and unfortunately, that's put the Firebirds right back into this. But the game is still yours for the taking. You are on home ice. It is 2-2, 4 minutes to play. You've had more offensive opportunities than your opponents on home ice. You got to feel like you can finish this one.
Yeah, that's Cole McCarthy. I didn't see the player that he's going to the box with, so we're going to have coincidental penalties here, matching penalties. McCarthy for the Mustangs is going to go sit for 2 minutes, so we'll still continue to play 5-on-5, but one of your senior defensemen, you certainly want his services with 4 minutes left in a game. So behind the net there, that's going to be Jaden Rogan is going to slide, that's Kayla Matter, that was looking for Carson Teckenberg. That puck shot all the way out, and here we go. You got Caleb Schwab. He's one of their more dynamic players, and he's the first man back and puts a shot right on net on Peyton Buckle. So one of the things here, again, you can't let guys behind you, and right here you have, you got 2 red jerseys and 1 white jersey, and that's not a good recipe for success. And then here they send it all the way down. There is going to be no icing, but one of the things that
initial scoring opportunity did bring Bulkouts out for a second. It did look like he was kind of in no man's land. He wasn't quite sure if he wanted to come out and get the puck. Did hold back, made the nice save.
Yeah. So that's going to be Austin Thompson, the goal scorer. He is coming through the neutral zone, tries to slide it over to his teammate. Nice play there by Mason Christensen, and that's going to be Trey Stocker that's going to bring it into the zone. He leaves it for Cooper Klaus. Klaus is going to throw it on net, Stocker's going to throw it on net. The puck's going to squirt all the way back out to the neutral zone where Christensen sends it down, which is 2:45 here, left in a 2-2 hockey game. Devils Lake, they're going to elect the one thing that they do is they stretch, the entire zone of the ice or the width of the ice there. They get it up to Dayton Lunick, and he carries the puck in. You got Jaden Rogan working down there in the corner with Mason Christensen. Jack Belial is going to enter in. The puck's going to squirt to the far side of the ice where Zach Mosier is going to be all over number 12 for Devils Lake. That's Dayton Lunick. And the puck comes out to the neutral zone but thrown back into the Cheyenne Mustang zone. You got 2:14 left in the game. Puck goes over to Mosier. Mosier tries to make a pass, fans on it. Throws it over to Jaden Rogan, but that puck is going to be intercepted by Brendan Connor. So for the Mustangs here, as far as they can get it right now, it seems like it's the red line, and then, Devils Lake is, or in that case, the blue line. Devils Lake is doing a nice job. Puck turned over there. So for the Mustangs here, you got to be a little bit smarter with the puck, and you got to handle it just a little bit better. So Mason Christensen's going to set up behind the net. Now we should have room to skate. Devils Lake has changed, and he throws it all the way up to Cooper Klaus. Klaus is going to elect to just carry it in. Uses the speed to the outside. Real nice pass there. And that's a fantastic goal by senior Kalen Matter. And there, Cooper Klaus made a real nice play. Cut wide, brought the defender with him, slid it out front, and that's just 1:36 left here in the game. That's a huge goal for Kalen Matter. And we talked about he got moved up to that line when Mosier went back to D, and certainly he pays the dividends there on a real nice pass from Cooper Klaus.
Tremendous pass from Cooper Klaus into the center there, and great stick work there to put that one in the back of the net. Litovsky, the things really turned for the Mustangs in the wrong direction, and that play there, that'll be the difference maker possibly at the end of this one here with just a couple minutes to play.
Well, the prior 45, 60 seconds prior to that goal, the Mustangs were even just having a difficult time of getting the puck up and out of the zone. So it was a real nice play there by Cooper Klaus, sliding it over to Kalen Matter and putting it in the back of the net.
Hey Mustang fans, Mustang Media would like to acknowledge our game sponsor, Gateway Chevrolet. Gateway is one of the Midwest's finest award-winning GM dealerships. You will find the atmosphere low-key, friendly, and helpful in providing your comfort and convenience. Our pricing is fair and very competitive. We are proud to serve the Mustang community.
So after that goal, Devils Lake Firebird coach Tate Aronson is going to elect to take his timeout here. We got just about 8 seconds left on that timeout, and then we'll get you the exact time that's left there on the clock.
This is the thing you have to remember as a team. You don't always have to have things go right for you, but you can't let things go wrong until they take advantage of you. And I think really what the Mustangs have learned here, obviously they came out really strong to start this game. Slipped a little bit, made some mental errors, made some physical errors. But at the end of the day, that goal right there might be the thing that pushes them with some momentum if they can finish it off.
Absolutely. You got about 95 seconds left here in the game, and Devils Lake is going to make a frantic push here in this final stanza. So puck behind the net. You got Teckenberg that's going to go back. Teckenberg lays a nice hit. Cooper Klaus is going to try to slow up a defender, but Devils Lake is eventually going to get the puck in the Cheyenne zone. You do have an empty net for the Firebirds, and that puck is shot out, and the officials elect to go no icing. So out there you got McCarthy and Mosier on the back end, and then up front you got the goal scorer, Kalen Mattern, Cooper Klaus, and Teckenberg. Devils Lake tries to come out of the zone. A little miscommunication on the pass there. It goes off a skate, goes off another skate. Mosier's going to carry it back into his zone, tries to slide it up to McCarthy. McCarthy is unable to get much on it, where that puck is going to end up eventually on the stick of Brendan Connor. Connor's going to throw that puck right on net there. You got Zach Jordy, throws it back down to Dayton Lunick. On the puck's on the stick of Mosier there, and they throw it up the middle of the ice. Caleb Schwab is standing just outside of the blue line, so Devils Lake is going to have to touch up.
About 33 seconds left to go in this one.
Yep, thrown all the way back. That's McCarthy, throws it all the way back and just misses wide of the net, not by much. But what that is going to bring is that's going to bring a face-off now to the left of Peyton Buchholz. Looks like the Mustangs are going to elect to switch up their three forwards up front there. Jack Belial is going to come out, and this is a dot here where Jack Belial, when he pulls the puck on his backhand, he is successful, so he's going to be facing Jordy. Let's see how he does here, if he can win this draw. Looks like he does, wins it over to McCarthy. McCarthy changes course, throws it up. Eventually he's going to get on the stick of Jaden Rogan, it looked like, but I believe it's going to hop over his stick, and that's going to bring the face-off right back to where it was. You know, it was a nice play. Belial was able to win it back, and McCarthy cut back and threw it up off the glass, but eventually
20 seconds to go here. That one's probably 2 inches away from getting onto the stick of Rogan and probably sealing the deal here, but as is, Firebirds with another opportunity.
I think they got one too many. Let's see. I'm not great at math. What do they got out there? 1, 2, 3.
Hey,
four.
if they can let you play with 7, go for it, man.
I guess
that's how it works.
Thought I saw a lot of red out there. So they'll send one man back. Again, McCarthy chips the puck out. This one is not going to go for an icing. So as long as the puck can stay down there, I think this should just about ice it here. But we see Caleb Schwab is all the way back down, got behind the fence. He calls it no icing, but.
And that'll do it there, I think.
Yeah, kind of a
little bit of an odd ending there to that one, but, you know.
Kind of a hairy ending there. You had Caleb Schwab that got behind
somehow slipped behind the defenders.
And was unable to race that puck all the way down. But, you know, for the Mustangs, this is one that gives coaches a little, gray hairs, or also makes them pull their hair out. But eventually they do get through it. Shots on goal end up to be 34 to 29 in favor of the Mustangs. Your 3 goal scorers there in the first, you had Carson or Trey Stocker, and then also Carson Teckenberg, and then the big goal by Kalen Madden there. That's a goal for a senior forward. He had a real nice pass sent over to him by that was Cooper Klaus. So for Cooper Klaus, that's going to continue his strong offensive year. That's going to be his 20th point, and even up in the statewide, we look at Mosier had an assist as well. So they're both going to be up there in statewide. They're both up there in terms of points leaders this year. So, this is a huge win for the Mustangs. It's going to, put them up into the EDC standings. It gets them another 3 points. It's going to put them up there at 6 points overall. But, as we talked about, tomorrow it becomes much more difficult because you're going to get the other bookend of the EDC standings as the number 1 team, Grand Forks Red River, is going to come in here. They lead it right now. They got, 7 wins, 1 loss. Their 1 loss was a shootout loss to Grand Forks Central. So they're a very, very, very formidable, strong team. I think probably the clear number 1 in the state right now with, them and Davies just playing the other day, and them, kind of handing Davies the loss that they did. So, Mr. Knodel, anything else from this game that you see or think that needs mentioning?
Obviously you're going to walk away feeling a little bit good that you got the W, but on the other hand, as we said, this is going to be a pretty telling week coming out of the holiday break, and for Coach Benson, he's probably going to have to sit down with these boys and say, hey, feel good, but, there's more work to get done because for the middle part of that game, we didn't do enough. We let them back into this one, and in the end, you came together. You finished it with a great goal to seal the deal, but, some mistakes, both physically and mentally, let them back into this one. And, if we want to finish this week with a couple of dubs, whether we can get one against Red River. And as you said earlier in the year, they got to feel pretty good that, they skated with Red River up there.
Yeah.
So here tomorrow, if they're able to kind of do the same kind of things that they did, hey, it only takes a heck of a game out of your goalie and really just some sharp playing and less mistakes. And, it does seem that they have some opportunities to score the goals that they need to really make that a competition tomorrow night.
Yeah, and for Sheyenne, this is a 4-game winning streak now. So, they went and they defeated Jamestown 8-1 on the road, and then in that Winter Classic here in West Fargo, defeated Mandan and Dickinson. So hopefully there's a feeling of momentum as they go into that game. And you talked about, playing them tough. And one of the things, too, is I think you got to commend the Firebirds from Devil's Lake. They came in here and, just a minute and a half into the game, and they're down 1-0, and then they get down 2-0 in the first period, and never showed any quit. The goaltender Zach White obviously played very well, but up until the the very final horn, they were looking to make plays and they were looking to get back into it. So, anything else that you need there, Mr. Knodel?
Hey, man, we got another big night tomorrow night, so I hope you guys tune in tomorrow night. This was an early one. We probably didn't get as many viewers as we typically do because it was a little bit earlier of a show. So, hey, maybe you want to catch this on the replay later on tonight, and hopefully, we have a busy week here at Mustang Media. So we got tomorrow night, we got hockey, we got Thursday night, we got wrestling, we got Friday night, we got girls basketball. Saturday, we're back here at the rink. So, hey, we got a lot of stuff going on this week. Join us for all those activities. Support these young men and women who are really putting in the time and effort and energy, and let them know all the work that they're paying off, that you appreciate that. And a couple of shout outs that we need to make too to we had 2 producers today, Grant Knodel and Jacob Fisher. We had multiple workers throughout the facility today, taking pictures and working the soundboard and helping set up. We appreciate all those people that from Mustang Media. The other shout out that I want to do before we leave here, we have a couple of things, couple of reminders. The Mustang Boosters want to remind you guys that there are 20 senior scholarships that they need applications for. We got a lot of people in a lot of different activities. They want to hear from you guys. They want to throw money your direction so you can use that for college. Make sure young men and women out there that are participating in all these wonderful activities, doesn't have to be sports, drama, theater, music, Mustang Media, whatever you're participating in, clubs, activities, get on that scholarship. Go get your money. Secondly, on that, the Mustang Roundup is coming up here, and so we do want to have all these businesses and organizations throughout the community and individuals talk to the Mustang Boosters so we can make that the best fundraising experience possible for this wonderful school that we work for.
Absolutely. So I think we're good with that.
I think we're good with that.
All right. So for Aaron Knodel, I'm Jordan Latufsky. Take care, everyone.
These broken pieces I hold in my hands don't have a chance to mend at all. Before they get thrown into chaos again, I try to pretend I'm holding up.